It seems as if most people take their lives for granted and never stop to reflect on the possibility of them ending. But what if you had a choice? What if your family and loved ones were gone? Would you still have reason to live? In the book If I Stay by Gayle Forman, Mia has the unique experience of getting to choose whether she stays alive or not. As Mia struggles with the weight of this decision, she reflects on various parts of her life, both the blessings and the struggles. Some of the characters I'm mentioning, Teddy is Mia's little brother and Adam is Mia's boyfriend. The car is eviscerated. The impact of a 4-ton pickup truck going 60 miles an hour, plowing straight into the passenger side, had the force of an atomic bomb. It tore off the doors, set the four-side passenger seat through the driver's side window. It flipped the chassis, bouncing it across the road, and ripped the engine apart as if it were no stronger than spiderweb. It tossed the wheels and hubcaps deep into the forest. It ignited bits of the gas tank, so now tiny flames lap at the wet road. I spin away. This isn't right. This cannot be happening. We are a family going on a drive. This isn't real. I must have fallen asleep in the car. No, please stop. Please wake up. I scream into the chilly air. It's cold. My breath should smoke. It doesn't. I stare down at my wrist, the one that looks fine, untouched by blood and gore, and I pinch as hard as I can. I don't feel a thing. I have had nightmares before. Falling nightmares, playing a cello recital without knowing the music nightmares, break up with Adam nightmares, but I have always been able to lift my head from the pillow, to halt the horror movie playing behind my closed lids. I try again. Wake up, I scream. Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! But I can't. I don't. Am I dead? I actually have to ask myself this. Am I dead? At first it seems obvious that I am. That the standing here watching part was temporary, an intermission between the bright lights and life-flashing business that would transport me wherever I'm going next. Another nurse comes by. She has dark hair and dark eyes brightened with lots of shimmery eye makeup. Her nails are acrylic and have heart decals on them. She must have to work hard to keep her nails so pretty. I admire that. She's not my nurse, but she comes up to Gran and Gramps just the same. Don't you doubt for a second she can hear you, she tells them. She's aware of everything that's going on. She stands there with her hands on her hips. I can almost picture her snapping her gum. Gran and Gramps stare at her, laughing at what she's telling them. You might think that the doctors or nurses or all this is running the show, she says, gesturing toward the wall of medical equipment. Nuh-uh. She's running the show. Maybe she's just biding her time. So you talk to her. You tell her to take all the time she needs, but to come on back. You're waiting for her. I think about what the nurse said. She's running the show. If I stay, if I live, it's up to me. All this business about medically induced comas is just doctor talk. It's not up to the doctors. It's not up to the absentee angels. It's not even up to God, who, if he exists, is nowhere around right now. It's up to me. How am I supposed to decide this? How can I possibly stay without Mom and Dad? How can I leave without Teddy? Or Adam? This is too much. I don't even understand how it all works, why I'm here in that state, or how to get out if I wanted to. If I were to say, I want to wake up, would I wake up right now? I already tried snapping my heels to find Teddy and trying to beam myself to Hawaii, and that didn't work. This seems a whole lot more complicated. But in spite of that, I believe it's true. I hear the nurse's words again. I am running the show. Everyone's waiting on me. I decide. I know this now. And this terrifies me more than anything else that has happened today. I'm starting to get it now. I mean, I don't fully understand. It's not like I somehow commanded a blood vessel to pop open and start leaking into my stomach. It's not like I wished for another surgery. But Teddy is gone. Mom and Dad are gone. This morning I went for a drive with my family. And now, here I am, as alone as I've ever been. I'm 17 years old. This is not how it's supposed to be. This is not how my life is supposed to turn out. In the quiet corner of the ICU, I start to think about the bitter things I've managed to ignore today. What would it be like if I stay? What would it feel like to wake up an orphan? To never smell Dad smoke a pipe? To never stand next to Mom quietly as we watch the dishes? To never read Teddy another chapter of Harry Potter? To stay without them? I'm not sure this is a world I belong in anymore. I'm not sure that I want to wake up. Later, Adam visits Mia in the ICU and talks to her. If you stay, I'll do whatever you want. I'll quit the band, go with you to New York. But if you need me to go away, I'll do that too. I was talking to Liz, and she said maybe coming back to your old life would just be too painful. That maybe it'd be easier for you to erase us. And that would suck, but I'd do it. I can lose you like that if I don't lose you today. I'll let you go if you stay. Then it is Adam who lets go. His sob bursts like fists pounding against tender flesh. I close my eyes. I cover my ears. I cannot watch this. I cannot hear this. But then it is no longer Adam that I hear. It's that sound. The low moan that in an instant takes flight and turns into something sweet. It's the cello. Adam has placed headphones over my lifeless ears and is laying an iPod down on my chest. He's apologizing, saying he knows this isn't my favorite, but it was the best he could do. He turns up the volume so I can hear the music floating across the morning air. Then he takes my hand. It is Yo-Yo Ma, playing Andante con moto e poco rubato. The low piano plays almost as if in warning. In comes the cello, like a heart bleeding, and it's like something inside of me implodes. I am sitting around the kitchen table with my family, drinking hot coffee, laughing at Teddy's chocolate chip mustache. The snow is blowing outside. I am visiting a cemetery, 3 graves under a tree on a hill overlooking the river. I am lying with Adam, my head on his chest, on a sandy bank next to the river. I am hearing people say the word orphan and realize they are talking about me. I am walking through New York City with Kim, the skyscrapers casting shadows on our faces. I am holding Teddy on my lap, tickling him as he giggles so hard he keels over. I am sitting with my cello, the one Mom and Dad gave me after my first recital. My fingers caress the wood and the pegs, which time and touch have worn smooth. My bow is poised over the strings now. I am looking at my hand, waiting to start playing. I am looking at my hand being held by Adam's hand. Yo-Yo Ma continues to play, and it's like the piano and the cello are being poured into my body, the same way that the IV and blood transfusions are. And the memories of my life as it was, and the flashes of it as it might be, are coming so fast and furious. I feel I can no longer keep up with them, but they keep coming, and everything is colliding until I cannot take it anymore, until I cannot be like this 1 second longer. There is a blinding flash, a pain that rips through me for one searing instant, a silent scream from my broken body. For the first time, I can sense how fully agonizing staying will be. But then I feel Adam's hand. Not sense it, but feel it. I'm not sitting huddled in the chair anymore. I'm lying on my back in the hospital bed, one again with my body. Adam is crying, and somewhere inside of me I am crying too, because I'm feeling things at last. I'm feeling not just the physical pain, but all that I have lost, and it is profound and catastrophic and will leave a crater in me that nothing will ever fill. But I'm also feeling all that I have in my life, which includes what I have lost, as well as the great unknown of what life might still bring me. And it's all too much. The feelings pile up, threatening to crack my chest wide open. The only way to survive them is to concentrate on Adam's hand, grasping mine. And suddenly, I just need to hold his hand more than I've ever needed anything in the world. Not just be held by it, but to hold it back. I aim every remaining ounce of energy into my right hand. I'm weak, and this is so hard. It's the hardest thing I will ever have to do. I summon all the love I have ever felt. I summon all the strength, that Gran and Gramps and Kim and the nurses and Willow have ever given me. I summon all the breath that Mom and Dad and Teddy would fill me with if they could. I summon all my own strength, focus it like a laser beam into my fingers and palm of my right hand. I picture my hand stroking Teddy's hair, grasping a bow poised above my cello, interlaced with atoms. And then I squeeze. I slump back, spent, unsure of whether I just did what I did, of what it means, if it registers, if it matters. But then I feel Adam's grip tighten, so that the grasp of his hand feels like it is holding my entire body, like it could lift me right out of this bed. And then I feel the sharp intake of his breath, followed by the sound of his voice. It's the first time today that I can truly hear. "Mia?" he asks.